This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
All right, let me share my screen. Hello, Dan.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hi there. Guest this evening.
Yes. I'm playing Minecraft.
That's a tech-based game, right?
She'll be the newest member soon.
So, yeah, let's get the meeting started. Let's calling the meeting order. Let's see, who did I copied this over from last time, so I have to update the date. 25th. Megan's here. David is on vacation. Chris is out. Dan is here. And Art. How was I doing it? Art L. Yeah, that's not to do it. Okay. So I guess wait for Ed to come back to talk about any updates on the VoIP. We need to talk about the website because the plan we had seems to have changed a little bit because the costs have changed. So let me see if I can find the email where Ed had sent the cost changes, so we could talk about them.
So then today, for some strange reason, all of a sudden I look at my phone and I have 12 new emails. So nothing that was that simple.
Yeah.
Let me try. So it's Southampton at 10.
Capitalize.
I'm gonna mute Art. Okay. Anyways, okay. So here's the email I received. Civic Plus, I guess there's a new salesperson and for their site. And with that, it comes a change in their price. Yearly support has increased to $4,700. So now the question is,
hey Dan, there's a new one Ed sent out with the it's a PDF he sent out
oh, okay.
today, I think. I think you're close, but
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, is that the new one?
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, he's got some updated pricing. Dan, do you happen to remember what they were asking for before?
I don't remember the exact numbers. It was like 12.5K.
Oh, an upfront cost, yeah.
And like 2,500-ish. I did a little math. I did like another 5-year calculation and looked at the spreadsheet I made, and it was actually under with this new one. So that's nice. I mean, obviously, longer term, it'll cross over, but
Yep.
I mean, it's still going to be cheaper than Final Site.
Yep.
5 years, probably forever, actually, because the Final Site was still more expensive monthly.
Yeah, definitely. I guess it probably there's something good for Ed to hear. We were just reviewing like costs, and Dan had done an analysis comparing their previous cost of Civic Plus to the new cost.
Yeah, I mean, it's still cheaper, but I mean, in my mind, the first thing I noticed when he said 4,800 is like 4,800 to 5,500 a year. And originally they were 2,635, so it was like a $3,000 jump. The 48 to the 55, that was only $700. So it was like, to me at that point was, from what you had told me, in my mind, Final Site was probably $700 a year better and worth going to. And then the question became when he said, okay, we can do it for 4,089 and include all this other stuff that originally wasn't in the new proposal. It was still like, well, now we're only at a $1,400 difference instead of a $3,000. Is Final Site $1,400 a year better? So,
well, plus the Final Site was 7,500 up front versus zero here.
Yeah, well, except I look at the upfront cost as basically a sunk cost because we're basically paying any upfront cost for conversion and the year one cost out of the ARPA funds. So I was basically pretty much just zeroing in on what are the continuing ongoing budgetary costs here.
Mhm.
I read that right. Also, it's 5% each year, starting year two. Is that right?
Right, exactly. So yeah, so every year it's going to go up 5%. We don't know what final site would go up or.
I guess when I hear this conversation, the thing that comes to mind is there any option I mean, right now the town doesn't have to pay every year for the website.
Well, except we're probably, I'd have to go back and see
The
what we spent.
Bluehost, I guess, yeah.
Well, the Bluehost is basically storage. You know, right now what we're paying Ann about, I think it's about $3,200 a year to basically update that website for us. So, you know, anytime anybody wants committee changes or committee officer changes, or, you know, Concom has a new ROI or RDA to post, something like that. You know, we're paying, and basically I contracted for, I think it's 2 hours a month at $180, and anything over that 2 hours is like $110 an hour. So that's what we're currently paying for. So we are paying something.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
So we basically pay. So I say 2 hours a month. You said $180.
I think our set rate for those 2 hours is $180, and then
so
like I say,
times 12 is 4,320. So if we look at it that way, the yearly cost is about the same. Here's the math.
Well, it can't be that much, because if it was $200 a month, 12 months would be 2,400. So it can't be 4,000.
So you said $180 an hour.
No, we get 2 hours a month for $180 a month.
Oh, so $90 an hour. Okay, so 180 times 12.
12, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But we're, you know, consistently probably 10 out of the 12 months we go over that. So it's anywhere from probably $100 to $300 extra a month for what we go over.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we say plus, can I do this on this calculator? 12 times Windows calculator. Trying to get too fancy with it.
Well, I can hang on. I can tell you exactly what we paid in fiscal year 2002. Hang on a second. I gotta get to another screen.
Thank you, sir. That'd be great information.
Okay. I'll be back in a minute here. Okay, here we go. Damn it. In fiscal year 22, we paid $3,186 to Ann.
Okay, so we'll say around $3,200.
Yeah.
Estimated. Okay, so we're still talking about an increase of, you know, a couple $100 a month.
Yeah, it's about $800 a year. So.
Oh yeah, over the course of the year. final site price is so I guess the discussion you think is worthy of having is, should we continue with final site after these process change or price changes, or do you think it's worth looking at the other company that we felt had a better product?
Well, I had two thoughts. One is obviously the proposal from Civic Plus had
Civic Plus,
changed.
yeah.
So number one, I should, and in my mind, had to bring that back to the committee. So I have, you know, just so you can see how the original proposal was made out in this one. I mean, at least David has kind of filled the gaps that, you know, I was concerned about to some extent, you know, price wise. And, you know, some of the things I had noticed was, I think the original one, they were going to convert up to 250 pages. The new one's 150. He said he took a quick look at our website. We only had like about 100 pages on it anyway, but they would, if we had more than the 150, they'd still cover that. And there's a few other things in there. So, and like I say, originally he was talking $4,800 before I started, you know, shall we say, putting the thumb screws to it. And, you know, I'm just going to round it and say 4,100, but you know, in my mind, 4,800 to 55 wasn't a super big stretch. So, you know, if that's where it stayed, I wanted to get the committee's thoughts on, okay, well, geez, with just a $700 difference, is final site really that much better? And we should, you know, either go with final site or take another look at it. And then, you know, now, like I say, originally we were talking about a $2,900 difference in the two of them. Now we're down to about 1,400. So, you know, is that a large enough difference each year? We just, you know, keep moving forward with our original plan for Civic Plus, or you know, are we good to go with that? Or, you know, for $1,400, do we have another discussion on value added for final site? That I can't answer on my own.
Dan, do you want to lead that conversation?
I don't know what that means in terms of money to the town. Like, is that easy to get?
I wouldn't say it's easy to get. You know, it's a difference. It's just one of those things. Is that, again, value added for another $1,400 a year? Is it worth going after to make it simpler on whether it's the department head ends or whatever, to make some of these changes, you know, internally?
$100 a month. I don't know how often people will be using this. If it's like a daily thing, that could be worth it for multiple people in there every day. But since nobody's using it currently, it's still a $1,400 difference. So,
right.
So I guess in comparing the technologies, do you think that Civic Plus is one that the say the average committee chair or member of our community could use to update the website? Do you think, did you get that sense? Or do you think that well, I mean, they do provide, they have a renewable cost, but I wonder if that includes updates as well in their subscription. I guess I'd have to read it.
What do you mean updates?
So when you paid us $4,000 a year, let's say we wanted to change, make a minor change to one of the websites, was it a matter of just calling them up and having them make and they have some website editor person who would do the change, or are we still on the hook to use their tool and figure out how to use it? Right.
Well, I think the advantage is to use their tool as much as possible.
Hmm. Yeah. So I guess, do you think is it's hard to, it's something hard to quantify. So
It's hard to quantify. Like I say, I did contact Athol, and Athol is the one that was moving from Civic Plus to Final Site, and for them, they thought it was a worthwhile upgrade, just for the, how do you put it, the less steps that department heads or users were going to have to make internally to update the website.
I mean, that's we have a lot of volunteers in town, and I would hate for all of them to be struggling to update the product with the product we provide. I hate for them to be struggling to make their jobs even harder. You know what I'm saying? So
I think if it wasn't a struggle for at least the department heads to make those changes, I'd probably be good with that.
yeah.
I mean, any board or committee chairs or had people on it that could make the changes, to me, that's a plus. Otherwise, it's going to fall, it's going to get delegated, whether it be to me or Judy or somebody else to make those changes for the boards and committees.
So would you pay $100 a month and not have to do everybody's work for them?
Oh shit! I'd probably pay about $500 a month.
So there we go. There's the answer.
But I don't have the 500. I don't control the $500. But
From
So
what sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, from what I remember, the Civic Plus platform wasn't that memorable to me. Like Final Site, I can picture it still from the presentation, and it's more dynamic and definitely more up to date than Civic Plus was. Final Site would be looking into the future. Civic Plus is just right now, I think. Final Site just seems like, yes, a younger company, but they would have the not younger take on it, but more modern take on it, I think.
That's good. And they didn't have a 5% increase after every year after year 2 either.
well, they didn't tell us they did. So
It's true.
Yeah.
You can do whatever they want, I guess.
Are we sure on their numbers?
What's that?
Are we sure what their numbers are?
Yes.
And not Civic Plus, the other. company.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Final Site had come back, and they had dropped the final quote for the yearly service down to the 5,500.
So, okay. So that quote's still valid.
Yes.
Now, if it's, I mean, how much are we talking again, Dan? What did you say, $100 a month or? 50?
Yeah, 5,500 versus, what do we have number here? 4,000.
4,100.
Yeah. Over years, about $100 a month.
And Final Site also had like the all-in-one question and answer for like social media and stuff too, I think. So you could ask them what to post and where to post it and what widgets to post in.
All right. So, I don't know. I would like to make a motion that we go with Final Site because of the although it has a higher cost, the advantages that it gives mitigate those costs.
Let's buy a Cadillac.
So is that a second?
Yeah.
So such that we will recommend this to the select board.
I think that, yeah, the cost difference, especially if the upfront cost is kind of a non-issue. I think the $100 a month, that sounds like the usability, just make everybody's lives easier.
All right, let's take a vote. Lawrence,
I,
Megan,
Hi.
Dan,
I
I. Okay, so, all right, so we'll talk. Oh, do you vote too? Aye.
Mhm.
So we'll get on the agenda. Let me move my scratch typing over to the other screen so we can look at that again. We'll get okay. Get on. All right. I had this all under the wrong section. Just under the updates to the website. There we go. Okay. So, were there any updates about the voice over IP since our last meeting? I think the only person who would be cognizant would be Ed.
Yeah, no, they're working to program those phones in the system. So I still expect to actually have installation like end of August, beginning of September.
The phones are being programmed.
sounds like a government shop to me. You sure wouldn't hack it in the real world. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Hey, I got to place a phone call. I'll call you in September when I have my phone. Don't worry. I'll fix the spelling later. Okay. I think this was we have a talk about consolidated IT support last time. I don't think anything has changed since the last time we spoke about this. I did get a message about the Novus from Kim Florick. Kim Florick mentioned she couldn't be here. She couldn't be here and hasn't had an opportunity to work on this. So I don't know. I'm getting kind of worried because I know she is taking on a new job, and that can eat up a lot of your time in life. So I guess is someone else willing to kind of help and push this through? Nope. Okay. I guess then it falls on my shoulders. Ed, I'll work with you on this.
Okay, and the big thing right now is Novus has asked for a proposal from SoftWrite to migrate their software from the old to the new server. Twice SoftWrite has gotten back to me with just what they call very simple instructions that they think we could do ourselves. And this last time, and I CC'd Kim on it, I was specific with SoftWrite that for whatever reason the vendor we're using does not migrate this type of software from the old to the new, and I need a cost proposal.
Mhm. So SoftWrite is willing to say they will pay this, they will do this service for this amount of money.
Right.
They'll just provide instruction. Is basically what they're
Well,
saying.
like I say, they keep telling me how simple it is. So, which makes me scratch my head and go, why won't Novus do this?
Yeah. Um, so I'd say the next step is did she already talk to Novus about that? I mean, like, if it sounds really easy.
Well, like I say, I sent that email back to SoftWrite last week, so I'm waiting to see if they actually turn around and give us a cost proposal that we can send to Novus.
Okay, yeah, we can see what happens. So if we have no price from SoftWrite, we will discuss further options. I think next next meeting, David Rooks had he mentioned he had some guest speakers he wanted to invite. So I believe that's the next thing going on. I don't think anything has happened in between. Haven't heard anything, so we might have a fast meeting tonight here. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that we should cover that can't wait till next meeting?
Could I just get a clarification on what SoftWrite is for?
Financial software.
Okay, that's what I thought it was.
SoftWrite is what is it, accounting or finance or both?
Well, it's financial software because I mean it's accounting, it's collector treasurer.
I don't know if I'm spelling the company name right. And that's the product they make is called SoftWrite or something else, or
They make a number of them. The one we're currently on is SoftWrite. SOFT capital RIGHT, all one word.
oh, so close. I'll fix the rest later. Okay. Is there anything else? Anything anybody wants to bring up at this point? New topics? Okay, so we already have our next meeting scheduled. We will be meeting with guests of David. So, yeah. We talked about the voice over IP. We have a decision on the website, so it's on myself, and maybe I can get Dan to come with me when we go to speak to the select board to recommend that whenever in their next couple meetings they have time to hear from us. If you're good with that, but I'll send the select board an email asking for a slot on their agenda. Sound good?
When are their meetings? Tuesdays?
Tuesdays, yeah. They meet the 2nd, the 16th, and the 30th of August.
Do any of those work good for you?
I think right now, yeah. I'm kind of
Dad,
touch and go on Tuesdays.
can I spell bed?
Okay. Well, it's fine. If you can't make it, I'll handle it. So I'll extend the offer once I have confirmation,
Okay.
and you can see you can make it or not.
Okay.
All right. All right, everybody. Well, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And I'll second.
All right.
All right. Does anybody object? I didn't think so.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
seeing you.
Same.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.